Hey everyone, welcome back to Comic Frontline. Jay here, coming at you from the future with another Futures End review. Today I'm reviewing Wonder Woman Futures End #1. Title of this issue is Old Soldiers. It is written by Charles Soule with art by Rag Morales with Jose Marzan Jr. and Batt. Now the story isn't really set to connect to either Wonder Woman's title right now or connect to what's going on in Future's End, but it is set 5 years in the future, and it's all Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman finds herself at war against sort of like an internal war almost, and she's fighting this being called Nemesis. Now Nemesis takes hold of people and uses them as the avatar to fight Diana, and you can tell that they're possessed by Nemesis by they're completely black with stars all over. So it's like a star field motif. Their body becomes like a star field. And that's how you can tell who's possessed by Nemesis. Now, Diana can't trust any regular soldiers, her friends, or anything like that because they are all susceptible to Nemesis powers. Nemesis puts doubts in people's minds to where they don't trust people, and it creates enemies. So even her friends and allies will become her enemies. To battle Nemesis, Diana has got Hades to raise an undead army for her, because the dead are a little bit less susceptible to Nemesis powers. Diana has a council of 7 of the biggest minds, and throughout history and war, and Nemesis storms one of the gates around her fortress. She has 7 gates with 7 council members. Each council member has possession of 1 key to a gate. Each gate is assigned to 1 council member. And she finds out that one of the gates have been breached, and she knows who Nemesis has possessed. And it turns out it was Napoleon, of course. And Diana, attacks Napoleon, and throughout this issue, she's battling eternally with not being the god of war. She even tells people, don't call me the god of war. You can refer to me as Diana, or you can refer to me as Wonder Woman, but I'm not the god of war. But in the end, she has to kind of, say, you know what? That's it. She can attack the dead now. Nemesis can take over the dead. I had to fight back. I had to become the god of war. I had to embrace that role. And she embraces that role completely. And you see her fully decked out in the god of war costume that you see her on the cover of this issue. Now, the story I'm going to give 4 stars to, because I really did like the story. But the reason why I'm giving it a 4 stars and not 5 isn't because it really doesn't tie into either books, because that I don't care. The story itself was a very well told story, and I loved it because you got to see who Diana truly is at her core. She is this goddess of she is this warrior princess, but she stands for peace. She doesn't stand for war. Even though she is the god of war now, she doesn't stand for war. She still tries to stand for peace. And that's why her and Nemesis are in this big war. And at the end, we get to see that Superman is standing before her. And he seems to be possessed by Nemesis too, because his costume, which is the new 52 costume, is completely Starfield. And we see Superman is also clean shaven. Very different than Superman we have been seeing in the new Futures End stuff, where he has the beard. This is a Superman who's clean shaven. Now, going back to why I'm giving this a 4 and not a 4.5 or a 5, which I normally would do, is because it's only a half of an issue. The other half of the story is continued in Superman Wonder Woman Futures End #1. So you really want to get a full picture of what's going on, you had to buy the 2 books. So I figured that takes away from the story, so I'm going to take away a star for that. But great story. The art, it's Rag Morales. How can you not love this art? I mean, it is pretty much flawless. So I'm giving the art 5 stars. I love the art. I love the story. Together, I'm giving it 4.5 stars, and the only reason why I'm doing that is because it was not, a self-contained story. This is a story that gets continued over into Superman Wonder Woman, which I highly recommend. Not only you picking up this issue with the solid 4.5 stars overall rating, but also go pick up Superman Wonder Woman Futures End #1, as it directly continues it and enhances this story. Well, those are my thoughts. Now I want to know what yours are in the comments below. Also, like this video, subscribe to Comic Frontline. Check out and subscribe to my channel, The Comic Book Theater. Check out Comic Frontline, the site, for all the latest previews, reviews, news, and interviews. For even more news on all things related to comics, comicrelated.com is your source for all your comic book needs with daily updates. And don't forget to like and follow me and Comic Frontline on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. I'll include all these links in the description below. Until then, I'll catch you in the next review.